it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and we're going to talk about air roots today. This series is also sponsored by Bloom Plus. If you're interested in their grow lights, you can also check the links out in the description box below. So air roots are really important when you're doing passive hydroponics, and I'm going to show you a really good example. Now this is Swiss chard growing in a medium of manure tea. So this is 100% pure manure. I didn't dilute this one. The plant that existed in here before died, and I put a new plant in and up the nutrients. Remember, this is an experiment, so I'm always tweaking, and this is 100% not diluted manure tea, and it's doing phenomenal. You can see the leaf size of them. Look at my fingers and the leaf size. It's doing really well. So let's take a look what's happening under the plant. Okay, so you can see here, you can see the roots at the bottom here, and they are massive, and I can keep going and going and going here. But on this particular plant, the one right beside the one that I showed, this one here is in manure tea as well. It's in a diluted manure tea, but it's a really good plant to show you the example that I want you to see on film. You see these roots that are coming out on the side. They're white, and they're projecting kind of upwards instead of the downward root that you see here. And those are the air roots, and the plant needs air to survive. And because I don't have an air pump circulating the water, the plant produces these air roots that are really critical for its survival. And you need to see this in order for the plants to grow well. And these two are doing phenomenal. This one here, now that you saw a really good example, you can also see them here. They're just not as clear, but again, you can see the roots below, and then you have the air roots at the top there. Okay, another good example is this one right here. This is in rabbit manure, and again, when I lift it up, you can see the air roots coming from the side there, and so that's a really good thing. The other thing that I started is some watercress. So I have a few that I have replaced the sponges that weren't working. I replaced them with some watercress. I also have some watercress growing in some dirt as well, and one, because I still enjoy growing in dirt, and two, I started these at the exact same time, and I like to see what's doing better than the other, just out of curiosity. So I have both, and I have both planted in each medium. Now these cups here don't have any nutrients in them yet because their roots are still very immature. What I've also noticed with these Jiffy pots is something negative that I wish the company would definitely improve upon, is this netting right here. They have this mesh that goes around to stabilize the peat pot. What I find is that the plants do get their roots out, but they suffer with that netting. And I do find that if you take the netting off, like I did with the watercress here, I took all the netting off, but what I do find when you do take the netting off, the plant breathes a lot easier, meaning that it can really push its roots out, and the plants seem not to lag behind. And as soon as I take that netting off, I start seeing different results. And so this one here and this one here are one of my first ones, and I find too with the hydroponics system is that there's a lot more chance of mold growing if you keep that netting on. If you take that netting off, I find again the roots just to be a lot healthier. So that's the change that I have made with these ones here. The other thing that I tried to do too was on some of them, I gave them a shot of apple cider vinegar to lower the pH because the pH was neutral or just above, and that's a little bit high. So I tried to decrease the pH just to see what would happen. And what I noticed is, like this one here, I put this line here because that's the one that I did add the apple cider vinegar to. The roots are a little bit slimier, so I'm not too sure if this one will actually make it, but hey, it's worth a try, right? Then I did full manure on this one here. I decided just to give it the heaviest shot of liquid that I got, and it is doing better. And this one here is still in a diluted manure tea, and it's doing well, but not as good as here. So that just tells me that I can really go insane on the nutrients when I am dealing with organic nutrients. And I've noticed that same with the rabbit. I can really go quite heavy on the nutrients and not even diluting it. The plants survive really well. So that's what I've noticed on the ones that have survived, that weren't in sponges. And I'm going to really test that theory when it comes to this watercress that I'm growing as just a wonderful lettuce leaf for dinner time. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, all the links are in the description box below. You can check out the grow light. And thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.